Hello everyone, my name is Chris and today I'm bringing you this technical analysis for JTO. JTO is a pretty nice cryptocurrency to trade in my opinion, and I want to tell you exactly why I'm very bullish on JTO, and we could see more than 40% to the upside, eventually even 60-70%. So let's dive in. We're checking JTO based on the structure first to understand what is it doing over here. And overall, we had a quite impulsive move at the beginning. If we just check this zone, this was quite impulsive, and the rest here looks more corrective to me. But overall, nothing really impulsive. Yeah, we can also say here that pretty much the whole time it's very corrective rather than very impulsive. So one thing for sure is, if we take the low, the all-time high, and then this low, we can see potential price targets if JTO would break this high. Yeah, but still a lot of things have to happen. I mean, we have to see more upside from the current price of like 75% to eventually think about this setup, to eventually say, okay, JTO could see $8 or even higher, up to $10. But we can keep this in mind. Over here, we have the whole correction zone. If we draw the fib like this is the whole correction zone. So from basically in all these areas, we can look for new sequences. Here. Since hitting the correction zone for the first time over here, we can look for new sequences. And there is one for sure, which even looks pretty nice based on the structure. Let's draw it real quick. We'll do it like this. Over here. This is the current sequence. It's a bullish sequence, not finished. We have basically our beginning, which is X or 0. This is our A. This is our B, the low. And this is the potential C that isn't finished. So currently, we are in the correction of the BC wave. Over here. This is our B. We don't need the magnet. Magnet is making things more complicated. This is our B, this is our C. Is bringing us not in the whole correction zone only, also into this BC correction zone, right? So basically, I deleted the wrong one. This is the BC correction over here. And we had a nice reaction of the 786. So we cannot be too bearish, especially after such a reaction when this whole setup is still valid. It would only become invalid if we break the B, which is basically this low. Yeah, so really a valid setup, we can keep it in mind. So this is an active sequence. From this whole zone here, I would only look for longs, personally. Makes things much easier to trade with the trend if we have further confirmations. So basically, if the sequence plays out, it will bring us into this zone most likely. And before that, we were talking about this all-time high here. And this all-time high, I also said that if we break that, then we could see the much bigger sequence. So just to keep that in mind, we have no bearish sequence. We only have a local bullish sequence. We are still in the zone where we could potentially take entries. We can look for this high to finish the sequence. And then if we break it, we could look for something much bigger, which could even become quite impulsive. If we break this high after all these correctional movements, if we really break this high, we could just see, let's say we make our way up, we break it, we retest it at some point, but we could really see impulsive moves rather than a lot more corrective moves. So this is our first perspective. The second perspective is our trending perspective. To check the trending perspective, we will just take a look at what's given over here. We don't really need this indicator, but the monthly is in a bullish fashion, and I would like to get into this monthly trend. The fresh monthly trend, bullish fashion after all this consolidation that I showed before, all these corrective movements, is a pretty bullish sign, mid-term, long-term. And I would like to get into that. So after this monthly fresh bullish signal, I would like to wait for a weekly retracement into the bearish zone, into this red zone over here. And that already happened. And what's so interesting over here is that we have a bullish divergence, which got confirmed on this push up. And now we could put in the higher low. We could put in the higher low for a weekly bullish convergence. Weekly bullish convergence, if this plays out, it's going to have a lot of steam to the upside. So I would really like to see this being finished. We can just extend it a bit. I would really like to see this being finished with the weekly bullish convergence. There also wouldn't be any bearish stuff left because we had a bearish div over here, slightly. I mean, we're just going to draw it like that. This is more like an exaggerated bearish divergence rather than a regular bearish divergence because it's quite even. And this is the lower high for the bearish convergence, and now we're in bullish convergence territory. Also, again, this is not just the fib for this potential bullish convergence, this is also the correction zone of the BC wave that I showed you earlier to potentially finish this sequence. So for me, this is a matching picture that we could potentially get that into this fresh monthly uptrend. Daily upwards fashion, we have no bearish stuff left because we were having bearish div here, over here. We had the lower high for the bearish convergence, so everything is gone. We got rid of that. We have a fresh daily TC up. Wait for the 4 hour to retrace it a bit. It did. The 4 hour cooled down. So overall, it just brought us back into the nice longing zone. So really, I just see bullish signs also from a trending perspective. And now I would like to take a look at the profile trading perspective with you to have a better local picture, to find good entries and exits. Because this is much more reliable, we are able to scalp our way into a potential trend. And what I'm seeing here is that the price was unable to fully rotate this profile over here, this profile at the bottom. The price didn't make its way to the previous monthly area low, obviously not. So the upper liquidity of the origin of the move was targeted and we already took that out. Okay, so this is the first information, but we can forget about that for now. Because it's just old, it doesn't matter now. And with this strong upwards move, we did not only take all this liquidity, we also built the foundation for a strong bullish continuation, because this upside move brought us into this profile and this profile. Yeah, we are allowed, after entering these profiles, especially this one, we are allowed to retest outside of the profile once again. Yeah, we are outside based on this one. We're not inside anymore, but that's absolutely fine. As long as we don't close 4 hour candles below the 786, this is absolutely valid. And it would be a super big invalidation if you just be like, okay, stop loss below the 786. I mean, that's nearly 20%. That would be insane. But I like to just take the long over here because we have the trend perspective, we have the sequence perspective. Also, the recent push to the upside brought us into the previous week profile, which would also be bullish. We can look for a full rotation to the previous week value area high. We have already seen the retest. Yeah, the discount was hit. So pretty nice. Discount hit, we have seen a nice retest. We could see a bit lower first, but it's fine, and it's even more fine because we also have the 4-hour demand. Yeah, this whole 4-hour demand zone is holding pretty nice. So we have a tight, small invalidation. Yeah. Lose the demand, not get a reaction of the golden pocket and close the 4-hour below the 786. So the invalidation will be much more local, not like 20%, it's like 6% from the current price. Yeah, we are already in a long since 2.97, 2.96. So for us the invalidation is like 4%, and that's absolutely fine because we're looking again at a potential still 50% move to the upside, 4% risk, 50% potential gain. Very, very nice. We have everything on our side, the trend, potential bullish convergences, profile trading perspective based on the previous month profiles, which is also trend for us. And then we are holding this 4-hour demand. We came from imbalance back to balance based on the freshest previous week profile, so we could fully rotate it to at least the previous week value high, which is also a lot higher. From here still more than 10%, 12, 13%. And that's it. I really just see bullish things. I will use this as my local invalidation. I will use this as my absolute invalidation to really take a step back and wait for further developments. But for now, everything looks great. Risking 4%, looking for 50. That's how we want to do it. So yeah, I hope that you guys are having a game plan, and see you on the next video.